in this case, this guy is attempting to appoint the judge as the trustee. Where that came from is out of this document right here. The Matrix and the U.S. Constitution. See, it's by anonymous, Judge Dale retired. And it's like updated 2010. I think it was one before 2010. I had one before 2010. I know I read one before 2010. I don't know. This is an updated, y'all. Okay, this is an updated version. This is the updated version. But I read this like in 2008, and it didn't have Judge Dale's name on it. It just said anonymous. All right. So we go down here to page 8. I'm going to start right here because I want you to get the full context of what the man is saying. I'll tell you, he's talking about separation of powers and how the difference really between Article 1 courts and Article 3 courts. And I'm going to stand, and he was talking about a case that had something to do with the educational system. So the Supreme Court ruled that the federal government was entitled to oversee the educational requirements of United States citizens by virtue of their constitutional powers to regulate commerce. You're going to always see this commerce clause, like when old guy, the troll, he was over here and he showed me his case and he was talking about the commerce clause as well. This case right here. What is it? Lopez versus U.S. versus Lopez transcript. It's on there too. It's all commercial, all right? All this shit is commercial. But they try to act like it's not, but I'm going to prove it to you. It's 100% commercial. I don't care what they say. I took this from another guy. He has he does video reviews. He video reviewed this case. It's ridiculous. I'm listening to him. I was, this guy's illiterate. He's some illiterate guy with tattoos all over. They like a nerd trying to be a biker. Some shit like that, you know. But let's get to it. It says, the Supreme Court ruled that the federal government was entitled to oversee the educational requirements of United States citizens by virtue of their constitutional powers to regulate commerce. Bad law is bad law no matter how you turn the paper, and that ruling gave the federal government the green light to initiate its brainwashing process on the American public. Let me explain how the court arrived at its ruling, because these are not ignorant men. On every form you file to receive government benefits, and even the voter registration form, there's a question that asks, are you a U.S. citizen? Yes or no? And everyone circles yes. Didn't you? Now look up the definition of a U.S. citizen. Now we know that if you read the case, Susan B. Anthony versus the United States, it's also on this page too. All right, right here on this download section, you will see the judge explain to you prior to the 14th Amendment, there was no such thing as a U.S. citizen. The U.S. citizen is a creation of the 14th Amendment. It is a federal citizenship. The original intent was to give citizenship to blacks, newly freed slaves, as a result of their inability to have state citizenship as a result of the Dred Scott decision. So the 14th Amendment wasn't meant for gays, LGBTQ, none of that shit. It was for free, newly freed slaves because they couldn't have a state citizenship, so they gave them a citizenship of Washington, D.C. And then told all the several states that if you are a citizen of Washington, D.C., they are a citizen of your state too. They just bogarted it with them.